I'm Sarah. This is my assistant Colleen. Welcome to the rubber egg experiment part 2. If you watched part 1, it left us with submerging our eggs in 4 different liquids. We had milk, Coke, orange juice, and vinegar, and one of them was supposed to turn into the rubber egg. Now, there's 2 ways you could have done this experiment. The first is the smart way, where you take your liquid and your egg and you put them in the refrigerator for the 1 week that you're supposed to wait between them. Or you can do them like we did and forget to do that and then have 2 experiments for the price of 1. We have a couple, some of our liquids have turned quite gnarly, we've said, quite gross. So we'll talk about that a little bit and what went wrong, as well as go through our rubber egg experiment. But our first step is we're putting on gloves because, like I said, it's pretty gross. We've got a little bit of mold growing. And then we're gonna take out these eggs and examine them, and hopefully you can follow along at home. And then we'll do a couple other experiments with them before we conclude today. So first, we have our milk egg. As you can see, it is quite congealed. It's more like a chunk versus an egg. The egg is encased in
It's a thing.
something else.
It also smells
Yes, you can't smell
like
it at
milk
home,
left out
but-
for a week. Oh God. All right,
Cool.
it's coming.
This is what happens when you leave milk out for a week.
Yeah, guys.
And there's an egg in it.
It's like a little
Okay.
chunk right there. Just gonna.
Yeah, it smells awesome.
Yeah, no. Okay, we're gonna put that over here.
Okay, that's our first egg. We're going to pull out the egg in the Coke next, which from what we could see had a little bit of cracking actually.
Cracking in a very stained shell.
Yeah, that did crack. And it was completely uncracked when we left it.
Gonna peek under a piece of the shell here to see what's going on.
Cool. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can compare all of these eggs to each other, but
All right.
the Coke one. And then we have our orange juice egg. Let me move the plate a little closer.
Oh, I certainly can.
All right. Which looks all right. Looks pretty.
Yeah.
And then our vinegar egg, which is all right. And now we'll have the camera come closer. We can take a look at them all. So at home, you're gonna look at your eggs and you're going to, once you get over how gross they might be, you're going to ask yourself a couple questions. You know, how do they feel? Are they hard? Are they soft? What do they look like? Are they a different color? Are they a different texture? You know, for you guys, you can think about how they smell. And this,
Got
like that
Shell on the egg here. I'm gonna.
looks mostly normal, just encased in.
Yeah, I don't think the egg is actually cracked.
Oh, you got it out.
It's still liquid inside, so that one didn't do much. Just the milk went weird.
Milk went weird. Okay. And then our Coke one.
So it's kind of got,
You can see that the shell has completely changed color,
yes.
and it looks. Ooh,
Oh, this may go
this
badly.
May go poorly, but
Yeah, yep, and that's a lot of liquid egg.
all right.
So that one did not turn into rubber, nor did the milk one.
If anyone at home did Coke, I'd be curious to see if their egg cracked as well, or if ours was just a unique case. And then we have our orange juice one, which is pretty. It feels like the egg shell is starting to disintegrate. It's not smooth, but it is still pretty solid. It's more fragile than I would say a normal egg, but it's working, but not quite as well as it looks like our vinegar egg worked. It's a little squishy. You can see that there is pretty much no shell on here. There's some kind of fragments of it that you can just wipe away. Those are.
And it's bigger than,
It is.
It
If
started
you
out.
have a regular egg that is untouched, can't get it to stop rolling, then you can compare all your eggs to each other.
look at this is a pretty much what we started with as a normal egg, and you can see how much larger the vinegar egg ended up.
All right. And if you are following along at home, we also pulled out some other objects that we're going to use to examine our eggs. We have some magnifying glasses and we have some strong flashlights. So we're going to see if we can see through this vinegar one with the shell that did dissolve. So here, I'll hold it up. Interesting.
Do you see any yolk inside of it?
Yeah, I was going to say, what does it look like inside? Gross. And it looks like most of these other ones are not going to.
This one maybe. Oh. Oh.
All right, it's deflating as we speak. Okay, and then we have a magnifying glass as well. We're gonna see. Interesting. I think we'll go through them all. This is the orange juice one. And this is our Coke one. It's currently oozing. And then our milk one. All right, so those are our eggs as it seems. And there's a couple other things you can try at home, like if you have your magnifying glass and your flashlight, I'd be curious what you guys see when you try this. There's a couple other things you can try at home that I'm gonna talk about right now before we get to some other experiments we're gonna do with them. If you wanna try this again, you could try it by switching out your eggs. So if you have we used regular white eggs. You could try white eggs versus brown eggs. Or if you have organic eggs versus regular eggs, if there would be any difference between the liquids. Or you can switch out your liquids. Like, what do you have at home? You could try mouthwash. You could try corn syrup. You could try anything you want. And then another thing you can try is how long can you leave your egg in the vinegar? What do you think would happen if you left it in there for more than a week? Would it get even bigger? As you can see, it got a little bit bigger, or would it stay the same? What do you think will happen after this? And then for our finale, we're going to, so our vinegar egg is our rubber egg here. We're going to finish off our video today with the bounce test. Will you take the ruler?
I will take the ruler.
So we're going to see if our rubber egg can bounce. And if it can bounce, how high do we think it will bounce? And we're saving it for last because we're hoping this egg will break eventually. We'll get it to bounce high enough that it will break. So make sure you have some paper towels ready when you try this at home. Okay, so I'm going to try it first from pretty close to the plate. And we're gonna just, okay, so that bounced. Let's see, let's try it from about 6 inches off the ground. Ooh. Okay, still bouncing. Let's try it from maybe 8 inches off the ground. Pretty high bounce on that. Let's go up to 10 inches.
So satisfying.
Oh, and there it goes.
10 inches.
10 inches is our
Was
cap.
the max.
And
Still
that looks
yolk.
pretty gross. The yolk looks pretty normal compared to everything, and we've got a bit of, this is what the shell has turned into. All right, and that concludes our rubber egg experiment. Thanks for watching. I hope you tried this at home, and we'd love to hear what your results turned out like. Bye.